Blankmeyer gazed at the small whirlpool he had created. The winter sun shone gently on the snow-covered earth where he sat, and the midday moon floated high in the sky. Wow! The children surrounding the fated one of Zero cheered from a distance. They saw a butterfly fly up from the vortex. Though it was just one, the winter butterfly seemed to have found a home in the vortex, isolated from the outside world. The cheers turned to laughter this time. The butterfly landed on Blankmeyer's head like a ribbon. The butterfly remained motionless. "You're a popular one, fated one of Zero," Blankmeyer replied, only moving his eyes. "Not as popular as you, destined one of Time." Rezael Odium handed out sweets to the children and gestured towards the parents waiting for treatment. All the children flocking around her obediently as if urged on by a teacher. "Even though you were born into this world after me, you're good with children." Blankmeyer gently returned the butterfly to the swirl and stood up. "I caught up with sweets," Odium shrugged. "Is Rezael not free?" "I forced him to rest. He's in the flower temple right now." "Is he with Rezael and the egg of a mortar?" "I'd rather leave him alone, at least when you're talking with us." "No, I don't think so. You should be by his side." Odium looked up at Blankmeyer's unexpected reply. "Me?" "Yes. That's Rezael talking to tunes and eggs whenever he has free time." "He saw the death of someone important to him and is praying for their speedy return." "Rezael only thinks about two things: tombs and healing. He should not keep it bottled up by himself forever, but let out those feelings and look to us. You, me, Soul, and our friends." "Indeed, to you Rezael is the leader who brought you into this world." Odium had been tilting her head, but from the knowledge she had gained from Amorta, she was finally beginning to understand Blankmeyer's true feelings, and smiled. "Besides, you want to learn more from him, don't you?" Blankmeyer nodded, thinking that it would be boring if he didn't talk. "It's your job to bring Rezael to reality. I'm sure that old man listening will say the exact same thing." The fated one of Zero pointed out the golden dust that had begun to gather around Odium, and she brushed it away with her fingers, saying, "Grandpa, are you eavesdropping again? Stop it already, or he'll start to dislike you." This dust was the sensory organ of the destined one of Infinity, Levidros, who had spread them to every corner of the planet Cray. It is unclear how the Destined King reacted to this root treatment. "But aren't we getting in the way?" "Get in the way. That's your right. You are Rezael, after all." Odium hesitated, unusually for her, but Blankmeyer spoke with complete confidence and departed. Until Rezael's return, she would help Soel with the patients who came seeking healing. Later, at Rezael's Flower Shrine. This place, formerly known as Gear Chronicle Installation 99 Ruins, is now called this. Apparently named by the CEO of Blitz Industries, this shrine, the tomb of the angel Rezael, known as the Flower of United Sanctuary, was actually constructed as a separate facility with donations from the company, serving as a sanctuary where worshippers from all around the world would pay respects and offer flowers to her. Alongside the shrine and its hull, a new facility has emerged in the snowy plains, attracting enough people to fill a town: the Rezael Memorial Hospital. Experts in the latest medical science, sacred magic, alchemy, and herbalism are dispatched from Keta Sanctuary, Brantgate, Dark States, and Stoichia to treat patients. As seekers of medical science, they share one common goal: to meet Rezael, the fated one of miracles, a master healer and a hero who saved the world as the fated king, to learn his skills and knowledge and seek his advice. Odium continued her flight. For the destined one of time, Reliably Odium, the interior of the Flower Temple, the 99th Gear Chronicle installation, was her birthplace. Even now, as she flies towards the center of the ruins, the Gear Chronicles, who offered their respects whenever she passed by, are both subordinates and family. They are within. Steam Maiden, Tiglant, and the Gear Quetzal both bowed their heads as they stood in front of the main chamber. It was Velstra who had this section of what was once a vast hall encased in perfectly biosecure walls and doors restricting access only to authorized personnel. While the pretext was to prevent malicious individuals from approaching Reliably Immorta, who would one day return, and Odium, the intricate carvings, inscriptions, and the grandeur of the structure, which caused headaches for the Blitz Industries accounting department, could never be explained by such intent alone. The respect and passion this reckless businessman and landlord, known for his recklessness, showed for the romance of ancient Reliably and Rezael was so overwhelming that even the servants of Gear Chronicle, Odium and Reliably Immorta, were overwhelmed. It is said that even the residents could not refuse the renovations. Seeing the young Odium put her hand on the door to the chamber, the two understood their purpose, bowed respectfully, and quietly departed. She had intended to approach with as little presence as possible, both as she opened the door and closed the door, and flew to the altar. But Rezael had already turned, waiting for her. The chamber was gently illuminated by the indirect lighting, and before him lay Reliably's coffin and Immorta's egg, offered to the altar. Sorry, Rezael, I'm intruding. Not at all. Rezael's response was just as Blangmeyer had expected. Well, Chris Rain invited me to Lyrical Monasterio's live event, and Velstra invited me to a dinner party. I'll be coming in the Lubutzel, so I can't refuse. I also got the usual flowers from Varga Dragres and Zorga. They are surprisingly meticulous, sending gifts no matter where you are. Both of them. That's the kind of men they are. They carry the heavy burden of what they've done, just like me. Rezael turned back to his lover, Reliably, and the egg of Reliably Immorta, who had saved him from peril in the destined showdown after the fated clash. Odium sighed slightly and shook her head, quietly abandoning pretense of having something to do. She could no longer bear the silence. Oh, come on. I didn't come here to say this, I'll confess. I came to talk to you. Blangmeyer recommended it, or rather, he ordered me to. I see. I'm sorry. I should have spoken to you first. You're busy, I know. The hospital is always full of people, and everyone is relying on you. I want to respond to that feeling. To those feelings. But you're not happy right now, Odium said bluntly. And you're worried about something. I may have only just been born into this world, but I can understand that much. Especially about you. Odium muttered to herself. The reason Soil seems worried and why Blangmeyer pushed me is probably because they've realized the same thing. I still have a long way to go, both as a doctor and a person. I can't believe I've caused everyone to worry. But Blangmeyer said that he wanted me to get it off my chest, and look at him, Rezael said, turning to Odium again. Hey, why don't you tell me? I'm the other Reliably born here. I was the one who once tried to defeat you and change the past. Odium was serious, though a little joking. There was a long silence, but Rezael finally spoke up. I chose the future that was meant to be. Yes, at the end of the destined showdown, after Immorta and the holy dragon Gobilius had left, I was there too, right in front of you. I wished so strongly, Odium, for a future where the world would be free of war, poverty, disease, injury. The memories of the Proteoto rebellion had been transferred to me. I understand. Odium lowered her eyes slowly. Her face seemed to be the same person as the immortal Rezael resting in her coffin, and the absent Rezael Immorta. It was Sybilt who had corrupted people's minds, amplifying their desires to an abnormal level, causing much destruction. But you were able to defeat Vaga Dragres, who had received Sybilt's power, isn't that right?
It was because of Gwibelius's help, and Immorta's.
The two of them gazed at the egg offered to the altar.
The destined future I desired was a peaceful world. I know I'm repeating myself, but...
And that's why it turned out that way. Odium smiled. Though she looked identical as a clone, this angel, created by Gear Chronicle's techniques, differed from the two Rezaels in that she possessed an optimistic, youthful, and French sensibility. Unbeknownst to her, many flocked to this land just to catch a glimpse of Odium's smile. There would be no war, no evil or invaders threatening the world. Everyone who came to the Rezael hospital, even the inherently ferocious beasts I treat with Gear Chronicles and Blangmire, went home happy and grateful that they were better. Velstra and the other fates and destinies all lend their hands. This is truly wonderful.
But what I wished for was a world free of all illness and suffering, one where tragedies would never happen again, Rezael said for a third time before turning towards the grave, unbecoming of a brilliant doctor.
Indeed, what you had within you at the culmination of the destined showdown was the sum total of two forces of destiny from two timelines. It would not have been impossible to achieve that. A perfect world. Odium rested her finger on her chin, as if searching for an answer in all the memories and knowledge she had been given. It hadn't been that long since I was born into this world either. Rezael's other incarnation continued to speak to Rezael, whose back was still turned. Looking at his back, which bore the weight of the world like a philosopher, Odium wondered, is he going to become so troubled with his sadness? Will it cover the world again? But it's things like this that make me feel like I can't just leave him alone. His dear friends, Soel and Blangmire, and none other than myself. Looking back at the long history of the planet Cray, I don't think there's ever been such a perfect time. Of course, I'm not saying that war and disease are inevitable, and it is the duty of us involved in medicine to face the suffering of the injured. If it still doesn't satisfy you, let me say it, Rezael. You made a choice, and your wish was granted. There are no friends or destined ones, no enemies. Everyone is friendly and smiling. Even if this is only a fraction of your overly ambitious wish, it is a great victory. You, Rezael, Gwibelius, we all achieved it, so let us rejoice and accept it gracefully. Immorta will surely return. I know this because I'm part of Rezael, just as like her. So, please believe me.
Of course I believe you. I believe in it, you, Immorta, you, the three of us, Rezael.
Very well. Well, come back when you're finished paying your respects. Soel and Blangmire will be screaming by now. They say we can't do anything without Rezael.
I'll be right there. The fated one turned around, back to face the words that followed. Odium.
Seeing that Rezael had properly faced her and bowed, the angel created by Gear Chronicle panicked a little. Rezael looked at Odium and said, I can't just rely on you forever. I'm really glad that you're here. I am always grateful. It's fine. I'm just doing what I want to do. Well then, Odium flew away with a rustle of mechanical wings, quickly closing the door to the chamber behind her, and floated upright for a moment, staring into space, ruminating over and over on the immense gratitude and appreciation she had just received. Then, suddenly her shoulders trembled, and she folded her body, Yay! She clenched her hands and stomped silently with her floating feet. Rezael, you're probably laughing right now. I'm a man who won't change even in 1,000 years. I haven't lived up to everyone's expectations. Rezael knelt. But I'll try. Odium is right. The world is at least not worse than before. And I have companions. With their help, I intend to continue using my medical skills to heal the sick and suffering, just as you once risked your life to do. Rezael. I see. That's why this place is called Rezael's Temple, and why your prayers and reverence are concentrated here. Who's that? Rezael was shocked. The burial chamber was an active Gear Chronicle relic, and the science of Brantgate, thanks to Velstra's effort, and the Knights of Keter. Though a small number were permanently stationed there, thanks to the Director Bastion's arrangements. It was, in a sense, the innermost place where the power of the three nations was concentrated. There was no way anyone could invade. It's here! Rezael looked towards the voice and saw the owner on the ceiling, slowly descending, shrouded in a cold light. It's nice to meet you, Rezael. It was a creature that closely resembled a rabbit, except that it could speak the human language, fly, and wield a phosphorescent staff, allowing it to easily enter the heavily guarded place. Who are you? I'm Respold. I've come to pick you up. Respold stopped halfway between the high ceiling and Rezael, who was standing at the altar. Pick you up? No need to freak out, Rezael. Rezael stopped, reaching his hand behind the altar. Seemed he already knew what he was trying to do. An enemy? Probably not. I'm a scout if you like. What do you mean a scout? Either way, I have no intention of forgiving anyone who invades Rezael's tomb. Respold remained unfazed by Rezael, who drew his holy sword. Stay your blade for me. I'd rather you listen to what I have to say. Rezael stayed silent. That's right. I can read other people's minds a little. I am a scout after all. I need to be able to spot good qualities, so we can find suitable children on this planet too. So I'll answer your next question first. The place I came from and the place I'm taking you to is... Rezael remained silent. The moon! I'm Respold, the messenger of the moon. Respold pointed to the sky with his wand, swayed his long, rabbit-like ears, and his bright green eyes gleamed under the subdued lighting of the main chamber. Hello everybody, I know this was atypical, but instead of managing the ritual myself, as it takes quite a bit of effort, I figured instead I would copy some of the paperwork from Celsera, who more efficiently communicates what's going on in our world, straight to you guys. I'm starting at the beginning of our, shall we say, saga of the Moongate. It has been a pleasure doing the overviews, and in time I'm sure I will create more overviews. But for now, let us continue the Moongate saga together.